I recently made a video titled as the best open earbuds, but that was before Oladance announced their new flagship open ears, the OWS Pro. So scratch everything you heard in that comparison, because these are the real deal. Or are they? That's the question I'm trying to answer today. Hi, my name is Andy, and you're watching Andy's Tech Zone. If you have watched any of my open earbuds reviews, you may know that I consider the original OWS and the OWS Mark II to be the most comfortable earbuds on the planet. And seeing the first photos of the Pro made me a bit worried, because I thought that Oladance had messed up all that. I mean, how could this completely new and different design be just as comfortable as the old one, right? Well, I'm happy to admit that I was proven wrong, and after using the Pros for a while, I can safely say now that my skepticism had no merit whatsoever. No matter if we talk about 4-hour-long bike rides, 2-hour-long runs, or all-day-long use in the studio, the OWS Pros can perform the same magic trick of disappearing from my ears as the original OWS. Of course, I don't mean it literally, as the earbuds won't even budge thanks to their secure and tight grip on your ears, so they won't go anywhere physically, but you can easily forget about them after a while. So comfort is truly top of the class, and so is the build quality. The earbuds feel sturdy and well put together, and we can only find premium materials all around, such as titanium, skin-friendly silicone, and high-quality plastic. And the ceramic skin coating looks very handsome in all available colors too. I only wish they had kept that Martian orange colorway of the original OWS as an option, but this vivid green I got here is almost as cool looking as that, so it's okay. And when compared to its main rivals, the Shokz OpenFit and the Cleer Arc II Sport, the OWS Pro is the clear winner when it comes to design, comfort and fit, in my opinion. The OpenFit feels a touch more flimsy, and while it's very comfy to wear for hours on end, it looks quite dull next to the Pro. And then there is the Arc II Sport, which is sturdily built and it looks the part too, but it's not quite as comfortable as the Pro in the long run. Having said all that, I had no real issues with the fit when using any of the earbuds for running or cycling. And I also tested the OWS Pro with different sunglasses, bike helmets and baseball caps in all sorts of scenarios, indoors and outdoors, and I could not find any fault with them as far as their fit and comfort is concerned. So again, the new design works perfectly well. And if you didn't like the strange design/business decision of not getting a proper battery case with the OWS Mark I and II, I've got good news, as the Pro comes with a case which has batteries inside with enough juice for a total playtime of up to 58 hours. The single charge playtime is 16 hours, which is 3 hours less than that of the OWS 2, but with the new case in mind, that's something we shouldn't really complain about. And someone must really love their cases at Oladance, as they offer 2 more options for you to buy. There is a more compact fabric case with no battery but a USB-C port for charging for $60, and there is another even smaller soft case with a hook and no electronics whatsoever for $30. I for one love the all-plastic hard case that comes with the buds, and it sits right between the Cleer Arc II Sport and the Shokz OpenFit as far as portability is concerned. Strangely enough, the one thing all these cases have in common is the lack of support for wireless charging, but the OWS Pro offers the best total playtime and also the best quick charging feature out of the 3. But Clear Audio put a UV light inside their case which can sterilize the buds after each use, and I also like the hinge on the lid which can open up all the way to almost 180 degrees flat. The only real advantage the Shokz case has to offer is the much smaller footprint, which makes it the most pocket-friendly of the bunch. But again, neither Shokz nor Clear Audio has this wild obsession over their cases, so we don't get such a wide range of options. And while talking about optional accessories, I have to mention the Oladance button. It's basically a remote controller which you can use in your car or on your bike to control music playback or answer phone calls, and it can also connect multiple Oladance buds, so you can use it as an intercom. I haven't had a chance to try it out yet, but I hope to get one soon so I can show you how it works in real life. But now let's talk about the rest of the connectivity features. So, the OWS Pro comes with a Bluetooth 5.3 compliant chip on board, which supports the AAC and the SBC audio codecs, multi-device connection and a single bud mode. Now, this single or solo mode as they call it is interesting because you get a power button on each of the earbuds, so you can turn them on and off and use them independently. With the previous models, you needed either the carry case or the smartphone app to turn off the earbuds, but you could not turn them back on unless you put the earbuds back inside the case. Now that limitation is gone, and thanks to these new power on-off buttons, you can use either of the buds on their own without having to carry the case with you. On to multipoint, it works across all platforms, and I found the switching smooth and quick between any two devices, be it Android, iOS, Mac or Windows. You get a list in the app with all the previously connected devices, so you can manually switch between those as well, and that can come in handy if you work with multiple devices on the daily in an office environment. In general, I found the wireless connection to be rock solid during my tests. I had no lip sync issues with videos, but gaming is not the forte of these earbuds due to the lack of a low latency game mode or a more efficient audio codec. And while overall I'm quite happy with what the OWS Pro can deliver, the Arc II Sport is hard to beat when it comes to connectivity. Snapdragon Sound, Bluetooth LE audio and the aptX lossless codec are all advanced features, neither of which the OWS Pro or the Shokz OpenFit have in their arsenal. However, after the most recent firmware update, the OpenFit buds now support multipoint use, so that one feature is something all three buds share in common.
And of course, all the earbuds can be used for making phone calls too, thanks to their built-in microphones. So first, here's a quick audio sample from the mics on the Oladance OWS Pro in a quiet room. Next up is the Oladance OWS Mark II in the same environment with same conditions, but with slightly different sound characteristics. Onto the Cleer audio buds, this is the phone call quality you can expect from the Arc II Sport in a quiet room. And to make this comparison complete, this last audio sample is recorded through the microphones on the Shokz OpenFit. And now let's see how the 6 microphone setup on the OWS Pro can handle some traffic noise outside. There's not much of a wind right now, only a slight breeze, but these are the conditions I'm testing all the earbuds in. Next up, let's hear what audio quality you can expect from the OWS Mark II when making a phone call while you are outside and strolling around in town with some traffic noise in the background. And this is an audio sample from the built-in microphones on the Cleer Audio Arc II Sport outside with some traffic noise and a slight breeze thrown into the mix. And this is our last phone call quality test for the day. Now you can hear how the microphones on the Shokz OpenFit can pick up my voice in the same conditions as before, with some light traffic and a slight breeze.
One aspect of the original OWS buds I wasn't 100% satisfied with was their touch controls. They were not the most accurate in cold or humid conditions, and the up and down sliding action for adjusting volume was not working very well either. With the Pro, we got brand new controls, as instead of the large touch-sensitive interface on the side of the speaker unit, we can now find a force touch button on the top of the speakers. The functionality and the remapping options in the app are the same, and they also kept the sliding volume control action, which now works more reliably and more accurately across different scenarios. However, the single, double and triple tap actions, which control play, pause, tracks and your voice assistant respectively, require some squeezing to register a tap due to the force touch nature of the buttons. And thanks to the position of the buttons on each earbud, you have to apply a downward force and kind of pinch the buds with your fingers, which is not the most ideal way of controlling your earbuds in my opinion. It's accurate, but not the most comfortable. Or at least when compared to the Cleer Arc II Sport, it's not as easy to use in my opinion. And thanks to that ease of use, the full functionality and the custom settings, the Arc II Sport comes out on top with regards to media controls. And while the touch panels on the Shokz OpenFit work pretty well with quick reaction times, they can only offer a limited functionality, and that's not good enough, especially on such a competitive market at this price range. But back to the OWS Pro and the feature set the Oladance app has to offer, not much has changed when compared to the previous models. We got the same touch control settings, the same EQ settings, a quick user guide, firmware updates, body bud, a left and right volume balance slider, and a hearing protection mode. It's a decent set of features, no doubt, but all these can be found on the OWS Mark II as well. The only true novelty in the Oladance app is the Zen or Focus mode, which is some sort of an active noise cancelling. And while I was skeptical about its efficiency, it does suppress some mid-frequency noises indeed, but it comes at the expense of some extra hiss. I also found the behavior of this feature to be quite hectic and unpredictable, as it keeps switching on and off, or at least that's what I think happens when the hissing comes and goes randomly. I only hope it will improve over time because the Zen mode has some potential and it could be a game changer for open earbuds, but some wrinkles need to be ironed out first. Onto some comparisons, when it comes to the companion apps, Cleer Audio has some extras to offer, such as an auto-off timer, a sedentary reminder, a step counter, head gestures, and an anti-loss reminder. And while some of these might be more gimmicky than others, it's hard to ignore the sheer amount of options and settings we get from the Cleer Plus app. The one thing missing is the option to switch manually between previously connected devices, which is a feature you can find in both the Oladance and in the Shokz app. The OpenFit can only offer you some basic EQ settings and software updates on top of the newly added multipoint related options, and that makes the Shokz app a bit lacking in comparison with the other two. Onto the sound quality of the OWS Pro, the most obvious improvement is in the bass response. Even though both the OWS Mark II and the Pro use 16.5mm drivers, thanks to the new virtual bass algorithm, the lower registers are more full-bodied with much better extension on the Pro. An acoustic bass, for example, sounds more nuanced and layered, kick drums have more of an impact, and thanks to the warmer bass, the whole frequency range is more in balance from top to bottom. Mids have clarity, but the bump in the mid and upper bass makes male and female vocals much warmer compared to the OWS 2. The mid-range is similarly forward-sounding on both, but I reckon that the warmer, fuller sound of instruments and vocals enhance the musical experience big time. It's not only closer to what you can get from in-earbuds, but it's also a bit more natural in terms of their tonality. The highs on the OWS Pro are smooth and detailed, but with a tad less extension and sparkle. Maybe that's just perceptual, as there is more going on in the bottom octaves, so the treble gets less of an attention, if you know what I mean. With music, the more impactful bass is a clear advantage across all genres, but with podcasts and videos, you might want to use the pure voice sound profile, which adds a boost to the mids, while toning down the bass, which helps with the intelligibility of human voices. And since this is kind of the sound signature you get from the OWS 2 out of the box, those buds might be a better option for such use cases to begin with. I also noticed that the imaging and the presentation of the Pro is less airy than that of the second-gen OWS, with a rather tight soundstage. But this is just my experience, and your mileage can vary due to the slight differences in speaker positions on your ears. The maximum output and volume is much higher on the Pro nonetheless, which can come in handy in noisy environments. But even the Pro is a step behind the Cleer Arc II Sport when it comes to absolute dynamics and volume levels. The bass has an ever so slightly stronger impact on the Arc II, while the mids are more recessed and the highs get more of a boost. It's a punchy sound, but I personally prefer the more relaxed, smooth and balanced sound profile of the OWS Pro, especially in the long run, where my ears have to face less fatigue both on the inside and on the outside, if you know what I mean. The Shokz OpenFit also delivers more bass at low volumes, but at mid to high volume levels we get annoying distortions, while the bass remains tight and clean on the OWS Pro across the whole volume range. The mids have great presence on both buds and so do the highs, but I found the soundstage wider and more three-dimensional on the OpenFit. And while maximum volume levels are also similar, the usable range is much better on the OWS Pro due to its clean and controlled output even at higher volumes. And to conclude this review, the Oladance OWS Pro are my new go-to open earbuds thanks to their extreme comfort, their well-rounded, powerful and smooth sound, their top-of-the-class build quality and also their outstanding battery life. And let's not forget about how well built and handsome these guys are either. But their price is $229.99, while you can get the OWS 2 for $149.99 as of making this video. Are the pros that much better than the Mark II? Well, that's the $80 question. You still get a sleek design, first-class comfort, practically the same feature set, and a more open and airy sound signature with the second-gen OWS buds. For your $80, you can get Zen mode, more bass impact and a much longer total playtime, thanks to the battery in the case of the Pro. But buying an optional battery case for the OWS 2 will give you an even longer total use time for only $50. And it still makes the Pro $30 more expensive. Are the upgrades worth spending that much more, or is it worth upgrading to the Pro from the Mark II right now? I'm not so sure about that, but it's not the Pro's fault, I guess. It's just that the OWS 2 still sounds like too sweet of a deal at that price. But let me know what you think about all that in the comments down below. As for the competition, even with the higher price tag, I still find the OWS Pro a better headset than either the feature-packed Cleer Arc II Sport or the compact and lightweight Shokz OpenFit, simply because they suit my lifestyle and my use cases better than anything else, thanks to their exceptional combination of design, fit, comfort and sound. But that's just me and my opinion, and of course your mileage and preferences might vary. And I consider myself to be a lucky guy for not having to make such a tough buying decision, simply because I got free test samples from all manufacturers. However, I did not get paid for making this review, nor did I give anyone preview privileges, so all you heard for the last 15 minutes or so was my unfiltered and honest opinion, which is based on my own personal experience with each of the earbuds. And before I drag it out any longer, this video has to come to an end now. Please give it a thumbs up if you feel like being awesome, and smash that subscribe button if you want to see similar content from me in the future. Feel free to leave a comment below should you have anything to add or ask. Thanks for watching everyone, hope to see you all in the next one.